Jon Smith here from X96. We are backstage at the glorious Maverik Center in town tonight with Chevelle is Disturbed. David, how are you, man?
Doing well, yourself?
I am so stoked. I've never actually caught a Disturbed show live.
Well, it's time to pop your cherry then, isn't it?
That's not entirely true. You guys were at Ozfest one year, and I was backstage. I had to be backstage interviewing another band. I don't even remember what band it was, and I was pissed because you guys were on stage at the time, and I missed the entire set. So
shame on you, sir.
I know, right? So I've kind of heard the live performance, but tonight will be my first time seeing the live performance. What am I?
There's definitely a lot more toys now.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more impressive than it was back in the old Ozfest days, I think.
What's different? What's changed?
Well, from a production perspective, we've got a whole lot of pyro, and. One of the best LDs in the business, lighting stuff up on stage for us looks fantastic. And, the set is obviously much more varied. It goes throughout our entire catalog. And to be perfectly honest, and I know I've said this numerous times, but I truly do feel that way. I think personally that we are playing currently, and really have been for the duration of this particular record cycle, at a level that's unprecedented in our career. So whatever you heard in the background in the old Ozfest days, hopefully will sound a whole hell of a lot better tonight.
That's pretty cool, man. You mentioned the entire catalog. You guys have been around for a while. How long have you guys been a band?
20 years.
Holy shit! I can't even believe that.
It's hard for me to believe too.
It seems like yesterday that we were getting down with sickness and
still are. I mean, it hasn't gone away.
Has the band dynamic changed in that amount of time? Obviously, you guys grow up a little bit. Things progress creatively, and then like you mentioned, pyro and lighting and stuff like that advances. How do you guys keep moving forward? I mean, you guys don't, like a lot of bands go backwards. You guys keep moving forward. How do you make that happen?
There's no science to it, man. We've been very, very fortunate. We've been fortunate to be consistent. We've been fortunate to have amazing chemistry together as songwriters. And we're certainly incredibly fortunate to have some of the most dedicated and passionate fans on the face of the planet who spread the actual music on their own. They do it without instigation. They do it without being prompted, and that is simply because they love it as much as they do, and they believe in it as much as they do. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to sit back and witness.
That's pretty rad. You do have some of the most passionate fans I've ever seen. And this even goes back to when you guys first had your first album out. People were passionate about you guys from the very beginning. Is that intimidating at all? It's
gratifying.
How do you live with it?
It's flattering. Intimidating. Intimidating is doesn't come into that conversation.
That's good.
It's overwhelming, to be honest.
Yeah.
Things like during the hiatus, seeing our Facebook page grow from 6.5-7 million likes to 10.5 million, with no product out, without working anything, with no presence in the environment, all natural, organic, word-of-mouth growth. That's staggering and pretty damn amazing. So, and that's all them.
That's like the entire population of the Midwest collectively being Disturbed fans. That's pretty fucking rad.
Makes me happy.
That's pretty awesome. So on the new record, Sound of Silence, like just blowing up.
Still.
First, I gotta know: did you have to get permission from Simon and or Garfunkel?
When you do a cover, you don't actually have to get permission from anybody. You just need to give them the publishing.
Okay.
That it generates legally. Now, you always hope that whoever the writer is, that they'll give you your blessing, or at least like what you've done. But unless you're going to utilize it for television purposes or things of that nature, it's a different licensing. And for those purposes, you'd have to get permission. But just to actually cover the song, that you don't need permission. But permission or not, Paul reached out to me, and we've been in contact with each other a number of times already. And he contacted me right after the Conan performance, and was very, very complimentary, and has been a big supporter, and posted the Conan performance actually on his own social media, and has really been very, very positive and like I said, very flatteringly complimentary about it.
That's
so it's
very cool.
It's been very surreal.
That's a pretty good note to put on the mantle.
Absolutely.
I mean, to get that blessing on one of their beloved songs
from one of the most prolific songwriters that ever lived. Yeah,
that's
for
pretty
sure.
damn cool.
Yeah.
And I got to say, we played the song right after the Kona performance. We got it right on the air, and we've been playing it in what we call a power rotation ever since.
I am aware of the term.
And well, that's more for these guys. But yeah, he's like, dude, I've been doing this 20 years. I know what you call it. But so we see the results of like Shazam and local sales, and the thing is just blowing up. So I can't congratulate you enough.
And it keeps on, spreading to parts of the world that either we've never been to or that are just discovering it. I mean, the track is, as of yesterday, number 2 on the iTunes Top 100 in Germany. It's number 3 in Luxembourg. It's number 1 in Slovenia. I mean, some places that we've literally, we've never been to Slovenia before. So it's pretty amazing to see how many people have been embracing it and how widely it's been embraced. So
how did you come to the decision to cover that song?
It was Mike's suggestion.
Really?
Our drummer, yeah. He one of the groups he was raised on was Simon and Garfunkel.
So cool.
They'd play it in the background. His parents would play it in the background during chores and stuff like that. And he made the suggestion when we were kind of banging our heads against the wall trying to think of what we wanted to cover for this record.
Right.
And it immediately resonated, but like you said, pretty daunting task to do a song like that. But very glad he made the suggestion and very glad we did.
I got to tell you, growing up in the 90s and the 80s and being a Disturbed fan this entire time, I never thought that I would have my mom come to me and say, I really like that Disturbed song. But she's going to be in the audience tonight. She's so stoked to see you guys. So David, thank you for taking the time with us today.
My pleasure.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you
Have
for your
a
support.
Great show. So thanks to Disturbed. Oh, let's grab I want to show the album so that everybody buys it.
Get some.
There we go. Buy this. Don't download it. Go to a record store. Buy it.
You can download it too. You can stream it. I don't care what you do. Just listen to it. It's all good.
Hey, listen to him. Don't listen to me. Thanks very much, man. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, brother.